Hey, what's goody? What's good, guys? Um, I got an interesting article here about the recent ritual that was placing King Charles on the British throne, and I'm just gonna go below and read the article and chime in every now and again. All right, so a coven of British witches and pagans pledge their allegiance to King Charles, claiming he is very pagan and supportive of their beliefs. All right, so it was posted in an important article last week detailing how King Charles III is the leader of the global sustainable development movement being implemented through the United Nations Agenda 2030 with the help from the World Economic Forum. It was noted in the article that his religious fervor in supporting the so called Green Agenda, complete with its insane plan for total decarbonization, that if successful, would lead to mass starvation and depopulation of the planet. Taken to its extreme, this is a form of earth worship. All right, so first of all, whenever these elites are associated with global sustainability, global sustainable development movement, and anything under that umbrella, it's usually referring to eugenics and depopulation. Just finding an excuse to tell you guys that there are too many people on this planet and they need to cut the numbers down. Now, unfortunately, they will be successful in doing this. A great depopulation will come, and I'm not as to sure in what form that will come in yet. It could be World War III. It could be food shortage. It could be natural disasters from climate change. In other words, man made disasters using the Harpo project. It could be a virus or an illness of some sort. Now, for those of you who don't know, total decarbonization is the goal or the agenda to reduce your carbon footprint to zero. So, this includes monitoring everything that you do, which contributes to your carbon footprint. This includes the stove that you have at home, the fridge in which you use to keep your foods, how much electricity you generate, how much electricity you consume, your car, whether your car takes gas or not. This could also include the amount of groceries that you get from your local grocery store. And just to dive into it a little bit, one of the main reasons why they want your cars to be electric nowadays is because of the electric grid system. So they want everything on the grid. They want everything dependent on electricity and everything dependent and everything rather connected and recorded within their database. So once everything is electrified and on a grid and recorded in their database, you can't you can't start your car without having a digital identification system, or at least without having a chip in your right hand. So when you get into your car and you do not have a profile which is on their database, you will not be able to go to work. You won't be able to earn money. You won't be able to move from point A to point B. It will basically be extremely hard for somebody without digital ID to function in that society. Let's read on. And let's not forget what took place at last year's United Nations COP27 climate conference in Egypt, when blatant pagan earth worship was on full display. For more on this, see the October 25 article in which activist Dennis Meadows clearly explains in a video that the climate crisis can never be solved without drastic population reduction. You see, they always look for a reason to depopulate. They always look for a reason to plan on killing millions, if not billions of people. And they're always going to make you feel like you're the problem, that this has to happen because of you, because you are killing the environment, you are killing the forests. When in fact, no, it's their agenda. They were always meaning to kill a portion of the world's population. Now comes this bombshell from the UK tabloid The Sun, which reports that witches and pagans from across the United Kingdom gathered to cast spells in support of King Charles during a special coronation ritual ceremony. The spells involved lighting blue, red, and white candles, burning incense. Burning incense is witchcraft, by the way. I see it gaining popularity in social media, pop culture, especially Twitter, where girls just talk about burning incense to keep the bad spirits away. That is witchcraft, and you should probably stay away from that, man. What else were they doing? They were scattering rose petals and giving magical gifts to each other on Coronation Day. The witches began casting spells several days ahead of the May 6th coronation of King Charles. Julie Aspinall, a 58-year-old self-described pagan, witch, and the main organizer of the event, spoke in depth with The Sun. She said the witches' coronation ritual took place at the Festival of Witches and Pagans being held in Coventry over the coronation weekend. More than 2,000 people were expected to attend the festival, which featured a range of workshops from wand making and spell casting to crystal skull healing. Man, you can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. This is real. Like, there are thousands of people gathering at festivals like this across the world, carrying out witchcraft. And let me tell you, man, you would not believe me if I told you what was going on at those festivals, about the rituals that were taking place, the sacrifices that they were doing, um, sacrificing, sacrificing to their gods, more specifically Isis, Shiva, um, Astereth. You know, it's just unbelievable about what they get up to in these witch covens, man. So here's the site, the link that I followed, which led to the Witch Coven's website. Look at this, man. Look at this. Festival of Pagans and Witches. Bruh, look at this, bro. Look, man, just look at this, bro. Like, just looking at this image gives me weird feelings. So it says here that a Warwick based coven. We have been tasked by the Great Mother Goddess, of course, like I said. That's Isis. In the Bible, she's referred to as Queen of the Heaven. Lady Astereth, Mary Magdalene, what else? Gaia, Aphrodite. She comes in many names, but it's all in reference to the same being. But anyways, they've been tasked by the Great Mother to teach the ways of the witch and pagan to those that need it. They work hard to develop young, curious minds, draw out and nurture natural talents. A festival for pagans and witches. Look at this, man. This is real. And look what else they're getting up to, man. They have their own online shops where they sell. They have their own shop where they sell spells and curses, man. That's right. Look at this, man. Look at this. Ready-made cells. Ready-made spells. They're selling spells like pre-rolled joints, bro. Look at this. Spell candle holder, clay goddess effigy. Look at this, smudge sticks, handmade incense jars. Hey man, look, these things are getting very popular. I'm seeing a lot of these things on social media. And to all the brothers that are listening to this video, if your girlfriend is doing this, if your sister's doing this, if your mother is doing this, you tell her to stay away from it. You tell her you tell her to stay away from it, and that it is a dangerous game to play, man. These spirits, they do not play. If you play with witchcraft, you will get burned. You're opening doors that you do not know what lies on the other side. And if they don't want to listen to you, if they want to keep doing it after you tell them to stop, then you leave and you get out of there immediately, man. This thing is a curse. This thing is not a game to be played with. Look at this. They're selling purple witches' bells, black salt, crystal eyes, clay talismans. Oh my gosh, man. Like, look at spell bottles, bro. Like, they're selling spell bottles like cold drinks at a corner store. Look at this. Runic key rings, the five-pointed star, sigil necklaces. Hey, hey, I hope you guys stay away from this, man. So back to the story. So the event was organized by Aspinall and her coven, the Coven of Gaia. And she told the Sun that King Charles has always been very supportive of the pagan community. In her interview with the Sun, Aspinall stated, "We know King Charles is the head of the Church of England, but to us, he's very pagan in his beliefs too. His invitation featured the Green Man and lots of other pagan symbolism." Wow, man, they just straight dry snitching on your boy Prince Charles, exposing him like that. Um, and I want to get into this image right here, this invitation. Hopefully, some of you brothers know about what's going on here. But for those that don't know, this is the green man that they were referring to right here, this image at the center bottom of this invitation. And what this is here, this draws back to the Egyptian mystery school, more specifically, pagan worship. Uh, this is a veneration of Osiris, the green god of fertility and I believe wisdom. And we'll get into that just now. I want to show you guys something. All right, Osiris is the Egyptian lord of the underworld and judge of the dead, brother husband to Isis, and one of the most important gods of ancient Egypt. The name Osiris is the Latinized form of the Egyptian Usir, which is interpreted as powerful or mighty. And I want to show you guys something. Look at that. You see this? He's green. The color of his skin is green. Dark green, um, different shades of green, pretty much. And one of the reasons why it's green is one, because green represents fertility. Green represents nature, the forest, natural striving. Green represents rebirth and recreation in nature. Spring as well. Secondly, green represents the black man. Green is usually a metaphor or a symbolism for the black man. The green man is the black man. So, yes, Piccolo is black. And not just green, but blue as well. And a lot of you guys probably know this already, but the blue man is also a metaphor and symbolism for the black man. So whenever you see a green man or a blue pigmented man in culture references and movies and animations or in art depictions, it's just a referral to a black man. So off the top of my head, I'm already thinking about Shiva, the Indian god, and a lot of Indian gods are blue actually. And of course, that's representation of black people. Something else that I want to touch before we get back to the video is that Osiris is referred to as god of the dead, right? Um, In the scriptures, it's referred to multiple times that the God of the dead is none other than the devil. Meanwhile, the Most High is the God of the living. So that's just another connection to the truth of the scriptures. The pagan worship that was practiced in Egypt, these gods, Horus, Set, Osiris, Isis, not just the Egyptian gods, the Babylonian gods, the Buddhist gods, the Hindu gods, they're all just different connotations, different versions, different variations of the devil. All pagan gods are different versions, different variations of the same being, the devil. All right, I want to show you guys something else that a lot of you probably don't know about. This is this is rather a family crest or a coat of arms, as they call it, of the British Empire. And this has a deep history right here. Um, so first and foremost, the lion on the left represents the Lion of Judah, while on the right, the unicorn represents the tribe of Joseph. For those of you who don't know, these are the sons of Jacob, the sons of Israel. These coat of arms originate from noble families of Israel, the Israelites. So in the Middle Ages, noble families would use these crests or these coat of arms to identify themselves or let other knows to let others know what houses they came from. So here's another image very similar to the one that we just looked at. So again, on the left we have a lion, and on the right we have a unicorn. So it says here that the lion and the unicorn, painted opposite the bear and framed in a similar way, represent forces of great strength, which reach a certain balance, thus making it possible for the forces of life and redemption to grow in them. These forces are symbolized by the tree of life. It is hard to tell whether the two animals which possess supernatural strength are embracing one another or wrestling. All right, here it mentions that the Bible mentions unicorns. Israelites are identified by a lion and a unicorn, such as that appears on the British coat of arms. The Scottish coat of arms depicts two unicorns. And there are many coat of arms from different countries. France had similar coat of arms. Italy had similar coat of arms. Germany had similar coat of arms. The Netherlands has had similar coat of arms. And one of the main reasons for that is because the Israelites ruled throughout Europe back in those days. They ruled, their rulership ranged from Ireland to Russia. All right, so the lion and the unicorn together appear on the British coat of arms. They are the official symbols of Britain. According to our understanding of the Hebrew Bible, the lion and unicorn are associated with Israel and unicorn, especially with the sons of Joseph. You see that? The unicorn represents the sons of Joseph. Now that we've established that, I just want to mention one more thing. And this is the interesting part. So, who you know today as Europeans, British, Irish, Greek, Italians, or rather you Caucasians, they only recently came into rulership. They came into rulership around the late 1500s. That was the beginning of their society. That was the beginning of them taking over Europe and chasing out the Israelites out of Europe into northern Africa. And with that being said, those Israelites were black men. Yes, black men ruled Europe in the medieval times. Their rulership ranged from Ireland, from Scotland. You know, the word Dublin, capital city of Ireland, literally means city of black people. They reigned from they reigned in England, they reigned in Italy, they reigned in France, and these were noble families, wealthy families, families that were in rulership. But because they were unable to keep up with God's commandments and his laws, and they were not able to maintain his statutes, his mandates, his constitution, the Most High punished them by taking away their rulership, by taking away their wealth, and by taking away their power. And in doing so, the Caucasian was able to rise up um, to go to war with the Israelites and to exile them from Europe. And I believe one of the things that greatly decreased the population of the Israelites was the Black Plague, which happened, I believe, in the 1300s and again in the 1500s. And one of the reasons why it was called the Black Plague was because it was killing off the black nobles during that time. So, according to the Daily Mail, Charles's invitation created the heraldic artist and manuscript illuminator. Andrew Jameson is a nod to the king's love of nature and climate conservation. Buckingham Palace, which revealed the design on April 4th, said the Green Man is an ancient figure from British folklore, no, from Egyptian folklore, symbolic of spring and rebirth to celebrate the new reign. You hear that? The Green Man, representing fertility and vegetation. His mother, the queen, was adopted as a Druid. A Druid is another word for a witch. In Wales, when she was young, Aspinall told the Sun, the young family has always been supportive of pagan beliefs. King Charles is very much into saving. King Charles is very much into saving the family, saving the trees, nature, and that's how they live. So they wanted to include him in the ceremony. The Coven of Gaia's special coronation ritual took place on Sunday, May 7th, and involved the witches and pagans gathering in a circle and chanting their allegiance to Charles. And that's pretty much where this article ends. And I'm just going to like conclude here that this is real, man. You know, um, there's this notion, there's this idea, especially nowadays with the youth, that the Bible is make believe, and it was a book that the white man made in order to get people to behave. No, first of all, the Bible is not a white man's book, it is a black man's book. Those men in the Bible were black. Solomon lit Solomon literally stated in the book that he was dark skinned. Um, Samson literally had dreadlocks. Yahushai, whom you know as Jesus, was a black man. Adam and Eve were black. So was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. With that being said, I just want to encourage you guys to pray, to find truth in this world, to humble yourselves to your knees, and to ask the Most High for knowledge, wisdom, guidance, and any tools that you may need in this life to overcome the obstacles which you will face in this life. The same, the same way that I will face obstacles in this life. We all face obstacles in this life, man. But with that being said, keep in mind as you go out, as you live about your daily life, that this is real, man. There's literally proof There's literally documentation. There's literally articles and books from hundreds of years ago of men claiming, stating, witnessing that the Israelites were real and that they were black men. It's not that you can't prove that God exists. It's that you cannot prove that he does not exist. If you know where to look and if you know how to look, you will find proof of his existence. So, with that being said, man, you guys take care of yourself.